Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tasha. Let's get into this. So, first of all, stop playing on my channel, alright? Don't come on my podcast throwing bad juju over here, alright? We don't do that. Keep those bad vibrations to yourself. Somebody tried to block this message. Okay. I put out a message, I believe it was about 3 or 4 days ago, about children being used for attacks, okay? So this is going to be people teaching their children to attack you. It's going to be attacks coming through your children. So if your child is not protected from certain attacks, or if they're vibrating, in a certain frequency via the things they're watching online or TV, the music they're listening to, the foods they're eating, the environment that they're in, right? This can put a child in a lower frequency or vibration as well, okay? If your child is receptive to certain entities and energies, or prone via the birth chart or warfare, they can be used to attack you. They can be used to start acting out certain things, and it will cause problems, right, in a home, or it will come up in their behavior or whatever. Also, their friends, okay? It'll be certain attacks coming through their friends, your children's friends. Children of the neighbors in the neighborhood. Also, the same scenario that can go for your child can go for another. So those children might be prone to certain entities through their bloodline, through their birth chart, etc., right? The initial message was me warning people who are exposed to children on a daily basis, whether it be their own child or not, okay? Multiple children as well as your own child. I'll say it in multiple ways, alright? It doesn't matter the dynamic. It's going to be a rise in attacks. I think I did a segment a few months ago. I believe it was in the summer, just at the tip of summer, where I was saying you needed to, it was like at the end of summer, at the end of school, and I put out the message basically saying, to pray over your children, okay, that this is that, alright, just basically a reminder, just saying a lot of different things are going on. As adults, we're aware of certain things that children are not. We all know that children carry a particular level of innocence. This is where the light comes in, and this is what will make them prime targets, okay, to be a host for these entities and energies. Now, if people, and I'm not going to say people, if anyone is teaching their child witchcraft, and I think we talked about this before, some bloodlines are just having those particular things attached to them, right? A lot of people wonder, how is it that people get to do so many bad things, and it appears that nothing happens to them, right? That they just get away with stuff for years and years and years. And this is because the Creator has allowed this particular frequency to be attached to the bloodline. Your children are not exempt, especially if you're teaching them this crap, right? Unless the Creator wants them to be different. So you have to be aware of a heightened amount of likely incidences of attacks coming, because people are teaching your children how to attack people in the spirit. So I'm saying, if you know you're not the one, right, into this type of stuff and not teaching it to your children, you need to be careful of the environments that you're sending your children into with their friends. And we know that already, but I'm saying on a spiritual aspect. You don't know if they could be trying to teach your kid something or attack your kid. And this goes back to the overall message of warfare in itself. This is typically what warfare is, right? You teach a warrior how to be a warrior. You teach a witch how to be a witch. And it doesn't really matter the bloodline. I mean, it matters, but I'm saying it doesn't matter the bloodline. Whatever this frequency is that you are trying to either fight off or maintain and enhance, you have to be cognizant of the things that come along with that. Your children are the ones that carry on your legacy. So either they'll be attacked or they'll be used as a pawn by you. Unless you're carrying a certain frequency. That's your choice. That's up to you. But the message was to basically be careful and be on the lookout for attacks to come from children. Some of these children are being taught to steal the essence. A lot of them are actually some old people. They're shapeshifters. And they are currently residing in children who were placed in your midst to attack you. And they just look like kids. They appear to be children, but they're not. They've already hijacked some kid for their host. And it's your job to be able to identify. Of course, you could break the yoke. You could break the spirit, whatever you want to call it. You could break the energy. You could heal it. You could raise the vibration. Whatever you want to call it. You can fix it. But you yourself have to also be in a particular vibration to even engage in warfare of this magnitude, only because this type of warfare is a little more subtle. It aims to attack in areas where, it's a little deeper, subtle, but it's more emotional, right? It's not the physical, but it can lead to physical. And if it does, that's a problem, because why would you be getting into, you understand, physical exchanges with children, especially if they're not your own. And some people even go to jail for beating their own kids. That's a whole nother story. But if you are willing to draw back and allow things to unfold without an input, that'll be good. Pay attention and observe more, instead of being the advocate of certain things. Kind of see where these, children would rather be, what they would rather do, what they would rather say. And that'll give you a little bit of something to work with to see exactly what it is that you're dealing with, because this is not normal. I'm sure it's happened before in the past, in different cycles and in different timelines, but for today, the day and age that we are currently residing in, the vibration of the children is lowering at a more rapid rate, and it's happening sooner. So we have children that are stepping into this lower vibration and they're in agreement with it. There's a difference between unconsciously vibrating in a certain frequency. But when you're consciously aware of what it is that you're deciding to do, that makes a difference in the spirit. So we're up against a particular level of maturity and intelligence for a population that is still very vulnerable. And I don't need to remind you, right? They're not legally able to do certain things, even if they may be ready, right? A lot of people could end up in trouble if they allow their children to be exposed to certain things. So this is what makes this very sensitive. The attacks are going to be coming through the children. The stress is an attack, spiritual attack. The worry is a spiritual attack. Nothing is going to happen to your children. God has everything under control. You are A-okay. All of these things are, like I said, subtle. Okay, it's subtle. It's to distract you from what you need to be focusing on, but what's really going on. I don't need to remind anyone to talk to their kids. I don't need to try to tell anybody how to raise their children. That's not what I'm doing. I'm advising you and I'm giving you a leg up. This is a different type of warfare. It's not, coming for your finances, coming for your health, coming for, your love life, coming for your faith. No. Coming directly for the things that you are responsible for in the spiritual realm. If you are worrying and putting your energy into a state of anxiety, it's not, it's counterproductive, okay? It's going to lower your frequency. We know that. So whatever it is that you do to ask God to protect your children, whatever it is that you do to pray and whiz out, do that times 10, right? And it's not up to me to determine how you live your spiritual life, how you live your life at all. But I'm just trying to tell you, I'm here letting you know that these attacks that are evolving your children are indeed attacks. Don't get distracted. It is something that is gonna phase out. It's gonna be a little battle, but it's gonna phase out because the Creator is gonna make sure everyone comes out unscathed. But the key here for you is to remember what it is you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to get so consumed with what's happening with your children. I'm just here to remind you, I'm not even a messenger right now. I'm just telling you what the Creator told me to tell you. So there's going to be a split, right? I think all parents have this intuition where you just know. The ones that are mature and you feel like, oh, they're so smart and you like them, cool. The ones that you feel like you don't like, it may not necessarily be because they're bad, but it could be. But I'm saying investigate. Try not to say too much because you want them to do a little more. Okay? But I'm going to end it here. I do love you all. I hope y'all week is going good. And yeah, hope y'all are drinking your water, eating y'all fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it is free. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.